Welcome everybody to the Mike Flair channel, and today I wanted to make the part 2 video of my Mike Motivation series. The first one was how I got into IT in Little Rock, Arkansas. I am from Southwest Little Rock, Arkansas, and I wanted to make content to share the insights on how I was able to turn things around, living in the inner city as a minority black male to living a productive life, getting to a point of stability. So with that being said, this video is how does my personality fit or work well with information technology or IT or tech, however you want to phrase it. One of the most important things to realize any field you go into is, does your personality fit that field that you're going into? You have to be honest with yourself, and you have to ask yourself, does my personality fit this field? And with that being said, one of the things that of my personality, because anybody know me, there's a lot of layers to this personality up here. It's a lot going on, but one of the things is being a problem solver. I didn't know coming up that this was a skill that's used in the workplace when I was younger. You just wasn't exposed to it enough. But being a problem solver, first of all, I learned this in life things about solving problems, working with what you have and able to solve with minimal things as possible, whether it's hurting yourself. How do I solve this and, minimize the pain? Whether it's dealing with something with a car. Do I need to take it to a mechanic or can I do it myself? Being able to just solve problems. When I was younger, I probably was at like a 30-40% problem solver, and as I started getting older into my adult, 1920s and up, it started going gradually moving up as far as just problem solving. So with that being said, able to learn new things or learn something new. Talking to elder guys at work when I used to work at different places and jobs, they would always say things like that. Try to learn something new every day. And I'll pass that to you. Are you able to learn something new every day? Don't ever stop your capacity to learn something new. A lot of times people learn something and they stick with that, but a lot of times learn the foundational stuff and then learn the extra or the accessory stuff that go with it. The second piece is able to manage time. Time management. Getting up at a certain time. Doing things at a certain time. Understanding that in order to manage time, you're going to have to give up something in other areas to manage time. Time management is one of the most important things as an individual that you will be challenged on throughout your life. Is time management skills. Because it challenges your discipline, it challenges your commitment, and it challenges your faith in whatever you believe in. Time management ties into all of that. And the more you get into, the more you do, it seems like sometimes you're having to find ways to manage time more efficiently. So being a problem solver is one of let me know in the comments what you think. Being a problem solver is probably one of the most, if it was like a top 10, it's probably being in that top 10, no particular order, this will probably be one of them, because there are a lot of times in IT that problems come up that there is no instruction manual. There is no right or wrong way. It's just, can you solve the problem? Yes or no? And that's what it boils down to. And not being afraid to fail, be able I always tell my managers I work for, as long as you give me the grace to attack it, and if I don't get it, it's not a big deal. I'll take a shot at it, but if you telling me if I take a shot at it, if I fail, it's catastrophic, that's a whole nother different story we got to talk about. But being able to give somebody grace to learn something new as a manager, I think that's one of the things you really can extend and build a culture within your team. So the second one is dealing with personalities. Learn this is growing up, dealing with personalities. Humor. I have a dark, I don't know if it's dark, you're probably dark, but deep sense of humor. Just instead of being down in the dumps, laugh about it, make a joke about it, and move on from it. Being able to see somebody's personality or see how somebody act and laugh about it, make entertainment out of it instead of letting it get under your skin. I don't think that's a skill that's God-given, I guess. Being able to make humor out of just about anything, whether it's something crazy or just some random thing. Just being able to do those things, something that I've learned over the years is how to deal with situations, because every situation is not going to be good. And the second part of dealing with personalities is being able to read a person without judgment. That's one of the most important things, is to read a person without judgment. What I mean by that is, let's say you work at a place and you start meeting people and you notice a group of people act different towards you, or they don't hang out with the minorities, they only hang out with the majority. They don't hang out with the apples, they only hang out with the oranges, or the bananas only hang with the bananas. Being able to know to understand that and how to avoid conflict in order to keep making the money. One thing I learned is don't let conflict come between you and your money. Not worth it. Being able to read the manager. This is a micromanager. This is a manager that's gonna let you fly, let you do your thing, or they're gonna constantly be over your shoulder. You gotta be able to read that kind of stuff. And I've gotten so good at it now that I can tell if I interview with people, I can kind of get a feel for who this person is. And I learned that through life. I learned that before I got into IT. Just living in the inner city, you have to learn how to read different people. You got to learn, no, I can't roll with you on this one. I can't get in the car with you on this one. I can't go here, can't go there. You got to be able to read people and read situations. And without judgment. If that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. But I don't want to do that. And I don't judge you for it. That's your deal, not my journey. And I'll be on my journey while you be on your journey. No judgment. The third one is processing and managing stress. This is one of the things that makes me a little different, is that processing and managing stress. When I was younger, I had to develop this in my mind, almost like a program. I had to program it in my mind. But one thing is I don't allow things to linger. Things happen. Disagreements happen. Misunderstandings happen. But the best thing you could do is not allow it to linger. How do you clear your brain? Everybody's different. Clear it, almost like delete in the computer. How do you delete that file and move on? Learn how to forgive others and forgive yourself and move on. Because sometimes you can make mistakes and you may not be able to ask that person for forgiveness, but you got to be able to forgive yourself and move on. Learning how to do those things, not allow things to linger, will help you to process and manage stress. Second thing is keeping my mind as clean as possible. After you, don't let nothing linger. Don't let it bounce around in your head. Get rid of those thoughts. However you need to do it, I'm saying get rid of. Don't allow things to stay. Don't hold grudges. Things happen in jobs, especially as a minority. You get a lot of things, you hear a lot of things. People say things behind your back about you. Some people even lie on you, but you can't allow it to linger. Because if it lingers, you can become bitter. If it becomes bitter, you can start spurting things out, and now you start becoming out of character. So don't allow things to linger and keep your mind as clean as possible. If something happened, process it. Find a way to process it without letting it stay in your head. If something happened negative, you know what? This is just because I'm at work. They feel like they have a license to do and say what they want to do. And with that, I'm leaving it here. I live to fight another day. I'm not worried about it. Let it go. My health is worth more than holding on to something that is not going to help me beneficial wise. And our last point on this is learning the position and simplify the position. One thing I did, any job I worked at, is once I get in, I learn the position, what they want me to do. How can I make this easier day to day? And how can I simplify that? Do I take notes? I know for me, I use something called TreePad. Sometimes you use Google Docs, and everything you do, if you do something that you don't do a lot, document it, the process, so you can go back to it and the process is there. You can remember how to do it. Learning how to simplify something is one of the most important skills, along with learning something new. Simplify things is always a good skill to have in anything. I don't care if it's cutting grass, whether it's working on something. Anything you can do over and over again, you can simplify it if you really want to put the work in. And the second part to this, and the last part is, am I learning a skill that will increase my value on the job market? You have to look at that. When you fill out for a job or your next position you're trying to move up to, does this position offer me skills that I'm going to learn on the job that's going to increase my value? That's why you have to be willing to learn new things. You have to be willing to challenge yourself. when you pick a degree, and I'm gonna talk about that too. I'm gonna make a video about that. Is this degree giving me a skill that's gonna increase my value on the job market? You gotta look at those things. So with that being said, I wanna thank you for coming by and watching. I wanna thank you for tuning in. I wanna say hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification. Cause sometimes I go live on this too. Just today, kind of a tough day. But thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting. Thanks to people who watch it on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and Twitter. And this is Mike Flair doing another Mike Motivation. And I'm signing out.